Welcome learners to part 3 of my lecture series for hospital pharmacy and its organization. Myself Sumit Rathod, working as assistant professor in Shri Ville Parle Kelwani Mandas Institute of Pharmacy, Dhule, Maharashtra, affiliated to Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University, Lonare district, Raigad, Maharashtra. So dear friend, before moving to the further discussion, we need to learn the learning objectives of our today's discussion. So the learning objectives of today's discussion again being segmented into three important parts. The first segment is nothing but the space requirement of hospital pharmacy, where we are going to learn the general space requirement inside the different departments of the hospital pharmacy. In second part, we will highlight the staff requirement in the hospital pharmacy. So where we are going to learn the different staff requirement, patterns of the staffing, and the classification of the staffing based on the hospital bedside. In third part, we will discuss the responsibilities and functions of the hospital pharmacy, where we came to know in detail the role, responsibility of a hospital pharmacy based upon their job description. So dear friend, at first we need to discuss the general space requirement for the hospital pharmacy, which will be calculated in the square feet of a general hospital setup. So I put here some of the readings related with the space requirement. It will be categorized based upon the size of a bed which is available inside the hospital, and on that particular phenomena only the categorization of a hospital will be carried out. Either it is a small bedded hospital, either it is a medium bedded hospital, or either it is a we can say that a large bedded hospital. So small bedded hospital are those hospital who having a bed strength up to 100. Medium strength hospital are considered as those hospital who having a bed strength up to 300, and the large bed hospital who having a bed strength ranging from 700 to more. So based upon that one, there is a the different. We can say that the requirement of a pharmacy will be differ. Means with increasing the bed size, the gradually the space requirement of a pharmacy is also being increases. How? Let's see. The first one is a dispensary. When we are talking about the dispensary, either it is OP dispensary or IP dispensary, the requirement for the 100 bedded hospital is a 350 square feet area. For the 300 bedded hospital, it is a 500 square feet area, and for the 700 or more bedded hospital, it is round about at least 800 square feet area is required for the dispensary or for the establishment of a dispensary. Now moving towards the store pharmacy requirement, for 100 bedded side hospital, at least 450 square feet area is required. For 300 bedded hospital, the requirement is more as compared to the 100 bedded hospital, that is a 1000 square feet area is required. And for a larger size bedded hospital or 700 bedded hospital, the requirement is a 2400 square feet. Now talking about the admixture unit, when we are talking about the admixture unit for small bedded hospital means 100 bedded hospital, the requirement is a 100 square feet. For 300 bedded hospital, at least a 400 square feet area is required. For 700 bedded hospital, the 650 square feet area is required. Now talking about the certain kinds of office requirement, for offices the requirement is a 110 square feet for the 100 bedded hospital, 150 for the 300 bedded hospital, and 200 square feet for the 7 bedded hospital. So here I put the total area in a square feet for the small bedded hospital, medium bedded hospital, and large bedded hospital based upon the hospital pharmacy. So in a small bedded hospital means 100 bedside hospital is there. So at least 1000 to 1100 square feet area is requirement is there for the establishment of a hospital pharmacy department. While moving towards the 300 bedded hospital, at least the 2000 plus square feet area is required for the establishment of a pharmacy department. Means pharmacy department which mainly include dispensary, store pharmacy, admixture unit, offices. Then talking about the large bedside hospital, so it required at least 4000 to 5000 square feet area for the setup of a hospital pharmacy. So this is a generally a general space requirement for the hospital pharmacy. Now we need to discuss the staff requirement inside the hospital pharmacy. So the staffing pattern for the hospital pharmacy department in a hospital setup is based on the location where they deputed. The general plan for the hospital staff requirement in a hospital pharmacy is illustrated in a following chart. Again, the classification and the requirement of a staff inside the hospital pharmacy is based upon the number of beds available inside the hospital, or we can say that the number of active bed inside the hospital. Based upon that particular thing, the hospital again being categorized into three important segments. Either it is a small bed hospital who having a bed capacity less than 250, medium based hospital who having a bed range between 250 to 500, and the large size hospital called as a who having a bed range between 500 to 1001. According to that, there is a requirement of a staff and their qualifications over there, which mainly include the first person called as a director of a pharmacy therapeutic committee or a deputy drug therapeutic committee. The person must belonging to the MD pharmacology as a qualification, or either having a master of pharmacy in a pharmacy pharmacology with a sufficient experience. So for the small bedded hospital, there is no requirement for the PTC and DTC, which the same role will be handled by the pharmacy manager. But for the medium bed hospital, at least one person as a being appointed as a director of a drug therapeutic committee for both medium bed hospital or large bedded hospital. Now moving toward the pharmacy manager. Pharmacy manager, the qualification of a pharmacy manager, the basic qualification requirement is a master of pharmacy with the sufficient experience. And for the small bedded hospital, there is at least one requirement is there. For medium bedded hospital, at least the two pharmacy manager is required. Means there is a separate manager for OP and there is a separate manager for the IP. So the same will be implemented for the large bedded hospital. There is a separate manager, at least one manager for the OP, and there is a separate pharmacy manager for the IP services. Now moving toward the third part, cadre, grade 1 of a cadre of a staffing, which mainly include the executives and the supervisor. So the qualification requirement for the executive is a master of pharmacy, and for the supervisor is nothing but the bachelor of pharmacy with a sufficient experience. Okay, then we are talking about the requirement in a small, medium, and large bedded hospital. For the small bedded hospital, at least one person either from supervisor cadre or either from executive cadre is required. And for the medium and large bedded hospital, at least two persons or two people from that particular designation is required to serve the pharmacy. Now moving to the next cadre, grade 2 cadre, where senior pharmacists are efficiently involved. The qualification requirement for the senior pharmacist is at least D Pharma with experience more than 5 to 10 years of experience, or B Pharma with 1 to 3 years of experience. These people are being required for that particular section. So for the small bedded hospital, at least two senior pharmacists is required. For a medium bedded hospital and a large bedded hospital, at least 5 senior pharmacists are required. Now moving to the grade 3 of a cadre, which mainly include the junior pharmacist. The qualification requirement for the junior pharmacist is a D Pharm with a sufficient experience, or B Pharm with also having a minimum kind of experience. So for the small bedded hospital, at least 5 junior pharmacists are required. For medium bedded hospital, at least 10, and for the large bedded hospital, at least for medium bedded hospital, at least 8, and for the large bedded hospital, at least 10 junior pharmacists are required. This data is totally based upon the guidelines given by the NABH standard. Now moving towards the class 4 staff. So for the qualification for the class 4 staff, which are called as assistant staff, they at least they must have pursued HSC education, or at least have a graduation in their concerning field. So for the small bedded hospital, at least 3 staff is required, or 3 class 4 staff is required. For medium and large bedded hospital, as the number of bedside is increased, that's why the staff requirement is also the requisite. So their main role is nothing but to supply the medicine to the inpatient area. That's why the 10 numbers of staff for medium hospital, at least 10 numbers of staff for the large bedded hospital is required for the pharmacy department. Now moving towards the last part from the discussion, that is the supportive staff. When we are talking about the supportive staff, it mainly includes the data entry operator, security personnel, guest relationship person, IT person, electrician, and the person belonging to the maintenance department. So their qualification is nothing but a graduate from their concerned department. Means if you want to hire a DEO, then you must have a finance related graduation. So for the concerning department, they will going to hire, and at least one from each category is required for the small bedded hospital, for the medium bedded hospital. And when we are talking about the large bedded hospital, as per the requirement or the number of bed occupied currently in that particular hospital, the requirement of the staff has been increases or being upgraded based upon the management of a hospital pharmacy. So moving to the last part for our discussion from today's lecture, that includes the job description of a hospital pharmacy staff. Based upon the organogram, the responsibilities were assigned to the different levels of stopping inside the hospital pharmacy. In this section, we are going to learn, or we need to highlight the specifically the responsibilities of a different level of a pharmacist inside the hospital. The role and responsibility will be clear to the staff on the day of their joining to the organization. This responsibility is in the written format known as the job description or JD. The one copy of a job description is always being present in an employee's file, while the other copy will duly sign and present with the staff for his future reference. Job description describes the overall function, responsibilities, role and reporting of the employee. So moving towards the actual job functions of a hospital pharmacist. So the first function is nothing but they receive the patient with a smile and always greet them, to counsel the patient, customer on health, reactions of the medicine, to be maintained a good relation with the customers and the doctors, to receive and transcribe the prescription from the customer and advise the doses of a medicine to the patient, cross-check the issuing medicines with the bill with regards to the patient name, item name, quantity, expiry, MRP and acknowledge the bill with their signature. Storing the drug under proper condition of a refrigeration and a security, to maintain the accreditation related compliances and the documentation as applicable to the hospital pharmacy department, to maintain the free home delivery register and follow up the medicines delivered to the customer in time. So apart from that, all medicine dispensing bills to be signed by the pharmacist, dispensing drug pursuant to a prescription issued by the doctor, honor of a 100% prescription, substitution of a medicines to be consulted with the doctor prior given to the patient, to maintain the narcotics drugs and its related documentation, to prepare the bills in a computer and collect the cash accordingly, to maintain the record for the non-stock item and follow up the same with the vendors or the authenticate suppliers, to maintain the stock in a computer and take a printout of a receipt from the store, and for cross-checking with the items issued the list from the store. So beside to this, hospital pharmacists are also responsible to perform certain interdepartmental work, which mainly includes checking the quantity, MRP, batch number, date of expiry of items which has been received from the store before they are entered into their departmental computers. Also ensure that 100% physical stock is tallied according to the allocated category twice a week. Daily rack wise verification for the fast moving items or the high valued drugs. To maintain execute day-to-day rack management responsibility as allocated to them. To maintain the high alert medication if applicable as per the guidelines given by medication management and use as per NABH guidelines and JCI guidelines. To ensure the proper training hours as per the accreditation protocols that need to be maintained into their employees file. To remove the short expiry product as per the policy of a hospital or their department, to ensure that other than other regular job, the extra job responsibility assigned to them by their management team, and they have to meet that particular job extra job responsibilities. So this much of references I have used for my preparation. You can refer this one for your further reference or for your further preparation. So at last, thank you to all for your patience hearing, and thank you so much for trending my channel for the pharmacy practice. So I request all of you, please stay connected for the further lecture series which are coming forward in the future related with the pharmacy practice. So thank you all.